is going on, my beautiful people? How is everybody doing out here in these YouTube and real life streets? I want to say welcome to everybody coming in. I got to thank Big Bro Jay and Big Sis April of African Dreaming for allowing me to come up on their platform earlier and for all they do for the community. Today, we have us a good topic to discuss. Still playing peekaboo. What do I mean? And what are we going to talk about? Let's play this intro, and then we're going to get into this fantabulous conversation. So we're going to play our intro, and then we're going to get started. How you be in 2023? Welcome. We appreciate everybody coming through. Big shout out to Jay and April, African Dreaming, Big Bro and Big Sis. Thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate it, fam. That is so generous and so kind, and we thank you so much for it. So I had to make sure that first off, we thank Africa Dreaming for their kindness today. I also want to take this moment to discuss some necessary business. If this is your first time here, we'd encourage you to aggressively slap that red button below. It's got that S word on it, subscribe. Now, I'm not going to be held responsible for any damage done to your electronic equipment. So you can aggressively slap, but please don't do so in a way that it damages your equipment. So yeah, slap that subscribe button. While you're down there, you can slap that like button. You can go ahead and ring that bell too. Make sure that notifications is set to all. That way you don't miss any of our future live streams and content. That part right there. So now that we got that done, let me see if we can speak to some people, and then I'm going to drop this link, and we're going to have us a conversation about this subject. Big Bro and Big Sis, African Dreaming. Thank you, fam. We got my bro Scott in the building. What's good? How you doing? We got my buddy, my Renaissance grandma. How you doing, sis? Good to see you. Yes, indeed. Everybody speaking and showing love to everybody. That is what is up. Nice. So I'm going to how this works, but I am curious about this thing. So I'm gonna go to my channel, make sure audio's turned down, and let's see. I also need to go to StreamYard on my phone, okay? And then if we do invite guests, copy that, come back over here to the stream, to the live stream. We're gonna hit paste, and then we're going to pin it from here. Now, I'm curious if pinning from just YouTube instead of pinning through StreamYard cuts down on some of the trolls. But we'll see. She, what's good, fam? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you, fam. We appreciate you. So, this is what I want to talk about. In the thumbnail, you see the little boy or the little girl. I got the picture from Canva. They are playing peekaboo. They got hands over their face and just one eye peeking through to see what's going on. Now, this is what I want us to discuss. And we kind of touched on it yesterday, but I wanted to have some additional time to delve into said subject. So, what I want to know, peekaboo. When we were kids, we learned how to play peekaboo. And the way that we played peekaboo is just like what you see in the thumbnail. That was how we played peekaboo. What's up, buddy? So that was the way we played peekaboo. But yesterday in the live stream, we discussed all right, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. I did not mean to play peekaboo during the live stream. But I guess my cellular router got too hot and it cut out on me. Wayne's World, what's good, fam? How you doing? Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So, this concept of peekaboo, just because we don't see them, all of a sudden, they're not there. They're not helping us. Where did everybody go? Well, maybe it's because we got our eyes closed. Or maybe it's because we just can't see them because something is covering our eyes. But we'll talk about that too. What's going on, Anne Marie? Part of our mod squad. Good to see you, sis. How you doing? How you doing? Yes, sir, Scott. We back. We had a little bit of an issue, but we back now. We are back now. So sometimes things don't go the way that we want them to go. Sometimes we may feel like we're alone in the sense of nobody's helping me. Nobody's supporting me. Where did everybody go? There was a time when people were helping me, but there's nobody helping me now. I don't understand what is happening. What's wrong? Where's everybody at? How am I supposed to grow if people don't help me? So we start to think that nobody cares anymore. We start to think that nobody's there for us anymore because we don't see them the way that we used to see them. Well, guess what? Most of the people that fall into that category are out here doing the same thing that we're doing. They are making their own content. They're trying to grow their own platform. They understand the YouTube grind because they are in the YouTube grind. So I'm just here to encourage everybody not to play peekaboo. In the sense of just because you can't see them, it don't mean that they're not there anymore. It don't mean that everybody's left you. It doesn't mean that there isn't anything to look forward to. It doesn't mean that your channel's not going to grow anymore. It doesn't mean that you're on your own. What's going on, CP family? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you, fam. Good to see you. I saw your comment earlier on the gardening video that we dropped today. I didn't get a chance to respond because I was out running errands and stuff. But I started growing this season because Lead Farmer challenged me to grow something. So that was the whole reason behind me gardening this year. But what I will tell you is I have completely and totally come to enjoy gardening to the point that I will be a gardener probably for the rest of my life. I don't really see myself stopping. I don't really see myself not doing gardening moving forward because I really, really enjoy it. So that was the reason for it. I hope that answered your question or kind of responded to your comment. CP family, we appreciate you. Tamika Wells, how you doing, sis? Welcome in, welcome in. So we talking about this concept of not playing peekaboo. We talking about this concept of trusting others. This concept of realizing that just because things may look grim doesn't mean that they're grim. Oh, appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Yeah, we locked in now. We's locked in now. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, it's okay that things may not look okay. Because guess what? When you playing peekaboo and you put your hands over your face, it gets dark. But is it dark all around the world? Is it dark in the whole room that you're in? Is it dark in your town? Is it dark in your city? No, it's only dark on the side of your hands that you see. So what I'm telling you is this. Things may look dark. Things may look grim. Things may seem slow. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be that way forever. All we have is take our hands off of our eyes and see the rest of the world. You see what I'm saying? Anne Marie, thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much for agreeing. We appreciate you. Now, I'm telling you this from personal experience. I don't even know if I have enough hands, fingers, feet, and toes to count the number of times that I've become discouraged while making content on this platform and the many other content platforms in which we publish content. I'm talking about 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 feet, and 2 hands. That's 24 things. I don't even think 24 is enough for adequate number of times that I've gotten discouraged and wanted to stop. I jokingly tell people that every day, at some point during the day, something happens on this platform, and I say to myself, I quit. That's it. Enough. I'm just telling you that that's how things go. That's just the way things are. But there's nothing wrong with that. We can accept that. We can realize that that's a part of content creation, and we can move forward. What's going on, sis? We got my buddy, Sammy Joe 1982. How you doing, fam? How you doing? Thank you so much, Sammy Joe. We appreciate you, sis. That means so much to us. I know everybody has busy lives, but leaving us running is a true kindness, and we thank you for it, my friend. Thank you for being one of our silver members. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. So I jokingly say all the time that I quit. I'm done with YouTube. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I don't understand these things that I have no control over. The algorithm and all of these other things that are variables when it comes to content creation. I don't understand why this doesn't do this, why it does this time, and it doesn't do this that time, and I'm tired of it. I don't know if I can make it, and I quit. And then you know what happens? Somebody else comes on, like a vision preparedness, like an African dreaming, like a wellness with frugal mama in the morning, getting her workout in before work. A Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick, who has publicly let us know the things that she deals with from her family situation. But she is right here making content, pushing forward, despite the difficulties that we all face. So these are the kind of things that happen, and I realize I can't quit. Yes, it's dark. I haven't gained a new subscriber in 3 weeks. I don't understand. Yes, it's dark. But guess what? I take my hands off my eyes. I stop playing peekaboo. I look at the wonderful things that I have around me. I look at the positive people that support me. And I say, you know what? Together, we got this. Together, we got this. Because just like Frugal Mama said, we can't quit. Quitting is not an option. We won't stop. We won't be deterred. We will keep going. we will keep moving forward. As a reminder, too, for those that are here, don't forget to type Geek Squad. That way, Nightbot can drop your link so that others can connect with you here in the live stream and on the replay. We got my buddy Sassy in the building. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Hashtag African Dreaming Raid. And I see him backstage. Do me a favor, big bro. There we go. There we go. I got you. I got you. What's going on, big bro? What's going on?
Man, what good, fam? How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I'm chilling on it, bro. I'm chilling on it, as you would say.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. You got a good topic over here, sir. You got a great topic.
So, the reason why I did this is a continuation of what we were discussing yesterday.
Yeah.
I felt it only appropriate to continue that conversation. Thank y'all so much for the raid. I know I said it at the beginning, but I just want to tell you personally, big bro, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate y'all. I really do.
Oh, no doubt, fam. And I heard what you just said, man. And you know, your boy always be peeping game. And this is to the what you said previously before I came up. I don't know what's going on, but everybody's number, like you said, we've been sitting at the exact same number for 3 weeks.
Yes.
3 solid weeks. Hadn't budged. It hadn't budged up, and I'm grateful it hadn't budged down.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot, all the content creators that we follow and support, I've noticed that their lives have had lower numbers, myself included, ourselves included. It's just the way it is, man. And that's where the rubber meet the road, because if you really enjoy what you do, even through these tough times, man, it's dark, it's ugly out here, but enjoying what you do give you the motivation to keep on going, don't it?
Sure enough, you said a mouthful right there. Sure enough. Hey, Miss Sandra, how you doing, sis? Thank you for coming through.
Hey, Miss Sandra, how you doing?
And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't get a chance to really, because you know how when we start talking, stuff just happens, and that's why
Right.
I love our conversations. Like it don't even be planned, but all of a sudden, either you say something or I say something, and it's like, well, no, that was good.
Yep.
And that was what happened yesterday. Just because you don't see people, don't mean that they're not there. And I'd rather not see people than know that people are out there not supporting me. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly, bro. Yeah.
So this concept of peekaboo, it comes from that. Like you play peekaboo, you got your hands over your eyes. It's dark. You can't see. You don't know what's going on per se from your eyes perspective. But it don't mean that it's dark in the whole world. It just means that it's dark behind your hands.
Exactly.
So you take your hands from your eyes. You start to see the blessings that you may have been overlooking, and then you realize, you know what? I can keep going.
That's it, baby. That's it. Well said, bro. Well
Thank
said.
you, bro. Backlash,
Man.
what's good with you, man? We got gamer, nerd, mom, garden in the building. What's good, sis?
What's going on, family? Sassy, everybody in the chat, game nerd mom, Miss Tamikia Wells, Miss Sandra, everybody. Backlash. How y'all doing? Y'all better get in here and enjoy yourself. And please, if you don't mind, y'all please share this live out. Support this brother, support his message, what he doing, the conversation he having. Y'all,
Thank you,
that's the
BJ.
only way you take your eyes from over your hands is sometimes you can have them there so long you don't realize you the ones covering your own hand. You might have to have somebody else grab one of them and pull, and then you open
That
your
part.
eyes and you're like, oh, it's light out there. It's daytime.
Bobby
Hmm.
though.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Gamer nerd mom. Garden said y'all on the same time as me. Thank you, Sassy. Appreciate you. Shout out to the tech department. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. Thank you. Everyday life of an OCD is chick. We appreciate that, sis. Uh,
Yes, indeed.
it's just it's so important to have a circle of people that you respect and trust and who always meet you with a certain presence and a certain consideration of inspiration because uh this here content creation thing ain't always easy, and it's what is easy is to get discouraged in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I've always said it, and I don't know. Sometimes when things are said multiple times, it can lose its power, if you will. But
Hmm.
when I tell y'all that ever since I can remember, I have talked to myself. I have motivated myself
Yeah.
because I didn't have a choice. Like
Right.
I needed that to keep going. And to kind of pull off what you were saying in y'all's live earlier, Big Bro, it was one of those things that as a kid, I didn't understand that it was okay to communicate that. So
Hmm.
I internalized and tried to take care of myself because society said that's what men do. We don't show
Hmm.
emotion. You see what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
and and we're-
now I know.
exactly, bro. And look here, man. I don't think people give enough credence to those formative years, uh 1 through 7. You already shaping it's weird, and I won't get into terminology and clinical language and all of that stuff, but you're doing real important things. To- could you imagine, like, a lot of people in here are growers, uh whether they novice or
Yes.
whether they are beginners. Could you imagine having some leaves and roots growing at the same time, but it ain't no base or no stem? How crazy would that be? But that's what happens in
Yep.
childhood. You have leaves being formed and you have roots being formed, but the actual connection between the two ain't even visible yet. And so much of what we encounter and deal with in our personalities and our observations of life are actually formulated during those formative years in childhood. So with what my man just said, I feel that 100%, bro. There's always an opportunity to learn more, and like you said, we when you get to the point where you know better, you do better, but that don't mean it's gonna be easy. I don't mean it's gonna be
Yes.
easy. And we all, every one of us done played peekaboo a little bit at some point,
Yep.
because we people. Yeah.
That's it. And I'm look, I'm sitting over here just kind of taking in and digesting the analogy that you just used because that one kind of knocked me back for a second. Because of how true it is. Like the things that are happening in those formative years, even as a person, we don't understand until years later.
Mm-hmm.
And how can you fix what's already been formed? And I'll give you a prime example because you mentioned growing, and I haven't had a chance to put this out in a video. those little wooden skewers that I got to support my tomato plants,
Mm-hmm.
they
Yeah. Yep.
they have reached their duration of usefulness.
They
Um,
growing,
and,
huh? They growing, huh? Yeah.
they getting a little big body over here. So I said that to say we had some bad rain day before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't think nothing of it because in my mind I'm prepared. I got my marshmallow skewers and whatnot, so my tomato plants have some support. The
Right.
rain made the skewer soft over time, and the weight of the tomato plant caused the tomato plant to fall at about a 60-degree angle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't quite 90, won't straight, but it won't like 45 either. It was just somewhere in
Right.
between.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and because of that, what ended up happening, push it up just a little bit, buddy. Okay. You're welcome. So because it, hold on, roll your window up just a little bit, buddy. Just a little bit, not a lot. There you go. So because of that, for about 6 hours, my tomato plant started to grow in a L shape because now it's semi-horizontal and the tops are trying to find the sun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to reinforce my reinforcements and then allow the plant time to reorient. So
Right.
it's it's almost back straight, but you kind of have to train it at this point because it went crooked for so long. Um, and what you're
Yeah.
saying about life and people is so true because growing up, sometimes we only realize we're growing up crooked because everybody else is growing up crooked. So it looks normal.
Ooh, come on, bro. Come on,
But to
man.
somebody
Yeah.
else, it's like, hey, yo, you sideways.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Man, you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. And so
Yes,
many
sir.
of us grew up in crooked gardens and crooked orchards and dark orchards that it's very easy to normalize certain patterns and behaviors when you see everybody else around you doing it. Like if you just grew up in, let's just say you grew up in a random city where everybody just licking doorknobs, you wouldn't think
Yes.
nothing about it. You would lick doorknobs too because you see everybody around you doing it.
Yep.
Now, as unhealthy and uncouth as that may be, that's your norm. Once something
Yep.
is normalized, it's normal. So, uh, individually, we have to, hey, bro. But when you speaking of peekaboo, baby, when you been sitting in the dark with them hands over your eyes, when you first get that big first ray of burst of sunlight or daylight or whatever it is, it's gonna hurt a little bit. You gonna squint.
Yep.
You don't just open them and look around and everything all good. Your eyes have to adjust, and these are the phases of getting to that next level that we all have to endure. You got to squint a little bit, and that's cool, you know. And when you get to somewhere you stop, man, as far as content creation go, Nikki put a real good comment off in there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Jay. You're so right. I want to say what's going on to Big Sis, M&T Living and Cooking. Thank y'all for being here. Tamika Wells, I think I spoke, but I can't remember. Um, Tamika
Hey,
said,
Mr. Mickey,
she said, I don't think I would pick doorknobs.
that what that that what she say. I hear you, Mr. Mickey, but I don't know if you seen Big Mama and Pawpaw and all your aunties and uncle going around licking doorknob. I don't know. You might not, Mr. Mickey. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
Gamer Nerd made a good point that sometimes people come into the light and they be like, nope, I'm going back to the dark.
Ooh, ooh, happens every day.
Sure
It
enough.
happens every day.
So I I love these conversations because I tell you that I need them more than anyone else. Um, and
Shit, we all need them, bro. We all need them.
you're so right. And I I want to lead by example because, matter of fact, I'm doing this, and I don't even care what happens because this is my channel, and I can do what I want to do.
What you finna do
Uh,
now, boy?
I'm, hey Jay, I'm about to pull one of your moves. I'm about to play a clip,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
and then we're gonna talk about it after.
Okay, okay.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Sir, I just want to say thank you. You saved my life.
Thank you, sirs. All of you.
Now, I played
Man.
that clip, and I'm gonna tell you, the last time I played that clip was probably about 6 months ago, and I couldn't bring myself to delete it off of StreamYard. So I just had that clip sitting there because that is in my now it's from the movie Coach Carter, but for those that may not know, I know you know Jay, but
Mm-hmm.
that clip is one of the clips that I listen to when I'm scared of my own power.
Right, right.
And I want everybody to know that letting your light shine, being the best that you can be, not holding back because you're afraid that somehow you will do more than others, is what we all have to do so that everyone can grow.
Mm, 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 mm. Bruh, you on one. Uh, I think if each individual knew the power that they possess inside the self, there would be no more powers that be, because everybody would be what power is. Uh,
That part, that part.
it's real, bro. We are so suppressed and so conditioned, and I'm not trying to make things or take it too far on your channel, bro, out of respect. But I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
say
good?
this: we spend roughly the first 12 years of our lives going through, to a degree, we can call it a certain level of indoctrination. And then after that, we go on the 4 more years, most of us, to have those beliefs reinforced and validated.
Mm-hmm.
When all along, so much of the power and creativity and the who we are and the possibilities of what we can do and achieve are suppressed and
Yep.
suppressed and suppressed. And I'm gonna tell you this, man, that puts me in the mind of one of my favorite authors, Khalil Gibran. He said, pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. It is the bitter
Ooh.
potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. Baby, everything you ever need or want, I believe the Creator has already instilled inside of you. You, with the help of environmental contributions, help suppress that power that all of us have. We sitting around with our hands over our eyes playing peekaboo, and all we got to do is put our hands down and open our eyes.
Sure enough. Sure enough.
It's bruh, it's you going in tonight, man. You doing one of them.
Man, look, y'all done got me all motivated over there. Um, I ain't got no choice. I ain't got no choice.
Bro, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. What's up, Sheed? How you doing? Shaded with Tuck up in here.
Show
M&T living and cooking. Been up in here. Miss Tamika Wells still rocking with you. Who else off in here? Game Nerd Mom. I see y'all in here, family. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for being in here. And if you just slid in, man, y'all show my man some love. I don't care how much longer he gonna be here. Y'all, please, please hit that like button. Share this live out because it's free. You already on here. Hey, y'all, you got to do is go share it real quick and come on back.
Show enough. Show enough. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. That's for sure. I'm saying trying to find some good light so I don't look like Planet of the Apes. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. We're just gonna have to make do what we got. But that being said, it's up to us. We have the power to make that decision. You see what I'm saying? And
Yes, sir.
I want everyone to realize that that's a possibility. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna use what Sassy said. Sassy said, "Y'all got me with the church tambourines. I'm eating it."
Yeah.
And what I'm getting at is sometimes because people tell us we can't or don't tell us that we can, we take that as fact, which isn't always the case.
Right.
Just because somebody says that I can't have my own clothing brand, that don't mean that I can't have my own clothing brand because I already got one.
Exactly.
Just you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I don't.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, bro. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You right, big bro. I just don't limit yourself because you're playing peekaboo and you don't think anybody there is there to support you, or because people have told you that you can't. Don't limit yourself for either of those reasons.
Exactly. And to add to that, man, how is it that I'm not saying it ain't gonna be harder for you, it may be more difficult for you, but how is it that any other man or woman that wake up on the side of the bed, sit up, scratch their head, stretch, break wind, do whatever they do,
Fought.
and get up and start they get up farting and just like everybody else. How is it that they can do something? It ain't nothing that another man or woman on this planet has achieved or accomplished that you can't achieve or accomplish, especially when it comes to your individual dreams and goals and beliefs. Now, when we talk about a collective and getting groups of people to do this and do that, that's a little bit more complicated. That's a whole different monster. But when
Yeah,
it comes to you, like my man said, a clothing brand, why you can't have one? Why
exactly.
not? If you want to start you a squirrel sanctuary, why you can't start a squirrel sanctuary? If you
Exactly.
want to go out hunting or do whatever, or start you a little meat company, or if you just whatever endeavors cross your mind, family, we gotta understand. It don't mean it's gonna be easy to get to, but it can be done. But it
Yes,
can't be done if you don't believe it can be.
that's it. That's it.
Period.
And there's a documentary. I saw the preview for it the other day, and literally it was about how the Jordan sneaker brand started,
Mm-hmm.
because Nike was literally trying to get Jordan to sign with them, and the deal was they would give him his own shoe, and that was how it started. Do me a favor, She. Just turn your camera on for a second, just so I can see it's you. Okay, there we go. I got you. Uh oh. I think you left, bro. If you just come back and turn your camera on for me. Um, CP family says facts. Yeah, that's what we talking about. Okay, there we go. I got you, bro. I got you. All right, let me add She to the stream. What's good, bro? How you doing?
Man, y'all preaching.
What
Y'all,
going on, She?
what's going on? What's going on? Hey, y'all working, man. Hey, I said, man, I gotta come up on this. I got to come up on this.
That's
Cause
what's
That's what's
up.
up.
We're
that,
glad you're here,
that's
man.
that's like one of the big things I always talk about is self improvement, and listening to y'all talking about this peekaboo. The thing that gets me with the peekaboo, when you covering your face, it's that sense of loss. You know,
Yes.
and that's where a lot of people are faced with a lot of times, that sense of lostness, because I always say this a lot. Every time I go to a lot of people channels, I talk about everything from the gender war to the you being where you at in life, another person, society standards. I always say that society
Mm-hmm.
put us in a mindset to be like the herd.
Yes.
You can't go get your own business, because that's the whole purpose of you going to college, is to go work for somebody. You know, why you want to be an entrepreneur? I seen this pastor. He once said that he had a guy and he was talking to his son. His son told him, he said, Dad, well, how come you work all the time, and then the guy across the street, every time I see him, he's always working on his car, fixing on something in the house, but he never works. He said, well, son, that guy over there, he's an entrepreneur. Me, I'm a worker. He said, I
Mm-hmm.
will go out here, make $300,000 a year working, where
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much he makes, but he makes enough to where he can stay in this nice neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and he can do what he do. So the boy goes over there and talks to the guy and asks him, so what do you do? Dude tell him, well, I own hotels. I own about 3 or 4 hotels. He's like, oh, you make enough money like that to own 3 or 4 hotels? He's like, yeah. I started off with one and then just kept going. Now I'm at 4 hotels, and just talking to him and letting him know and explaining to him. So he goes back and talks to his dad. He said, well, if you want to be an entrepreneur, your best bet is to go talk to him, because I only know how to work. I don't know how to manage and work for myself. I can be the manager of my company, but that only takes me so far with the skills from the job.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, you would have to talk to somebody that's in that field. And it kind of put to the issue like what we're talking about now with the whole peekaboo thing. We're so caught up in this whole society is putting us into play, like, hey, if you want to be this way, come follow us. We'll teach you how. We'll teach
Mm-hmm.
you this mentality and learn this way. That's why a lot of us, a lot of times we so depressed, don't want to feel like doing anything, because some things just don't seem right. You know, I, I told people all the time I want to be a designer when I was young, and I stood to that goal of trying to go to school for it and everything. But, as they say, life comes
Mm-hmm.
apart and do things. Even though I can do it now, I'm capable of doing everything now that I want to do, but I just don't have the time because I'm so caught up in the life and other things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgetting about my dream. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's why people tend to move the way they move, because that passion life that you had when you was a kid, you start to lose that flame
Yeah.
because you're not into this stuff. Like prime example, I always watch Zoe Williams, a guy pretty good, African American studies and everything. And this guy always say, if you work a job that you're working for free, then that's the job you love because you'll do it for free. He asked the lady,
Mhm.
he's like, what do you like doing? She's like, charity work. She's like, would you do it for free? She said, well, I guess so. He's like, nah, because if that would have been your first answer, first thing would have came out your mouth was yes. And see, a lot of us, we doing a job just to get paid, but we not doing a job that we love because we so caught up on that hamster wheel, you know. And there's times that we can break and do both, like you was talking about earlier with this YouTube. You know,
Mhm.
my thing was never to get discouraged about YouTube because my thing is just to give the information out and let it be. If people
Yes.
take it and run with it, cool. If they don't, I can have 2 subs, I can have 20 subs. My thing is as long as I'm getting the information out. And I always tell people I'm doing it like I'm doing it for TV. I can have nobody in the chat and I'm giving them one of my best performances. I'm trying to give top notch information, but
Mhm.
it's repay.
Hey,
The guy,
she
go ahead.
can I just want to say something real quick to something you said,
Yeah,
Joe, if
go
you don't
ahead.
mind. A
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
of things. I just want to say real quick. First off, uh, the whole first, me personally, I don't dream of labor. I don't have a such thing as a dream job. I understand your analogy, but I don't even have a dream job because a job is a job. But I do understand that part of what would you do for free. And as we recondition ourselves, we kind of grow into what would you just love to do with the time afforded you on this earth, even if you wasn't getting paid for it. Now we all know we got to make money. Like she said, we got that halfway point where you find yourself doing both or striving for both. But
Mhm.
the system is so structured and so well orchestrated and are defined. We all either done had to do, will do, or currently doing something we can't stand so we can put food on the table. And then I'm gonna go to my next point. And my
Yeah.
next point is the most profound thing I've discovered in my life. The most precious commodity, it ain't your house, it ain't the car you drive, it ain't what's in your bank account. I've spent several situations and circumstances in my life where I have seen people in end of life phases. Some of them been real quick, some have been real quick, and other ones been long and drawn out. If anybody, I think Joe got the link pinned to the chat. You got to show
Yep.
yourself before you come up. But if anybody want to think I'm wrong or you want to ask me something about how I feel and why I feel this way, the most precious commodity any of us can possess is our time.
Yes.
And that's literally what people take away from you. You know how many men I done seen? I've been one of myself. You work 50, 14, 16 hours a day for 4, 5 years straight. You do the math on that and see how much time you done spend away from your family. You
Mhm.
walk in the house and your niece, I ain't got no kid. You walk in the house one day and you like, damn, boy, you done got tall. This your nephew. You see him
Mhm.
all the time, but you've missed seeing them grow up.
Yep.
You one day your little niece wants you to bounce her and play with her and y'all outside kicking balls and stuff. The next thing you know, she got on a miniskirt. You like, well, damn, hold on, when this happened? Because you've been at work, because you've been preoccupied approving yourself to the world, meeting the standards set in place for you to deem yourself quote unquote accomplished. And all the time somebody I gotta watch my mouth, I'm on my man channel, robbing you of the most precious commodity that exists, and you don't figure it out until the end. Not me, baby. No, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Exactly. I'm with you. I'm with you. And I'm gonna tell you something. I think
Oh, where she dropped down? He
oh
must have.
no, he back there. I think
Okay.
there we go. Um so eh, and I'm gonna tell you, this it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier. This thing ain't gonna be easy because I'm a, I'm not saying this with with a level of bragging or anything of that nature, but putting the time that I put into YouTube on top of
Mm-hmm.
everything else is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because this is a whole nother world if you're trying to turn this thing into a business. And I don't care what the business is, storefront, no storefront, it requires time of you if you are to
Yep.
get something out of it, aka lifestyle, revenue, whatever you're
Exactly.
seeking to get.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
it ain't gonna be easy. It's going to be difficult. It's going to stretch you thin at times. It's going to leave you wondering, is this right? But the one thing I can promise you, every clothing brand company that you wear, every vehicle company in which you drive one of their products, someone had the same feeling that you're having right now.
Yep.
They did something.
Facts.
So, best example I use all the time. Amazon started in somebody's garage. Now, you go back 10 years, everybody was on eBay. eBay was it, and here comes this man in his garage, decides that he gonna do it better than what eBay's gonna do. Like, hold on, who are you, and how are you? But look at this thing now. Not only are we talking about shipping, but now you've got AWS, which is Amazon's online cloud that exists in an electronic space that is not a physical space. That you have multi-million dollar companies paying to access. And this started from the garage, shipping stuff. So, what I'm telling you is don't limit yourself. And if you're willing to put in the work, the work will take care of you.
That's true.
What up?
That is so true. And
Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. Is Josh here? Isaac, let Red cut your hair. Yeah, now I didn't even know you were here, bro. Okay.
yeah,
Um,
and
but well, I gotta get some better light because I need y'all to see me.
yeah, that's like the biggest thing with adversity. That resistance. A lot of people tend to run away from resistance, but
Yeah,
adversity it makes you stronger. That's the whole thing with lifting weights. Those
yeah,
retention bands that you the adversity it makes you stronger. A lot of people don't want to go through the heartache and pain. They just want to be like all together and ready to go. I always say this when a couple, let's say a woman goes to a man with a lot of money and marry him, that's all cool and dandy. But for you to grow with this man, both of y'all start, out of college, no money. That's the resistance right there. And when y'all join at the hip, making all this money, nice house and cars, kids are well, that was the process in which you can endure and you enjoy it more because you was there for the struggle. If
yes,
if that woman marries that man with all that money, it's a happy. It's always happy when you got money, but then that feeling is not there of that triumph. Like We did it. We struggled. I've talked to people. I used to move furniture. I talked to people so many times, and they was like, "Man, I remember when I was a college kid, I ate noodles
Mm-hmm.
5 times a day. That's all I could. That's all I can afford. I didn't even want eggs because eggs cost too much. Noodles
Mm-hmm.
was breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And now I get to eat whatever I want. I get to go do this, take trips, and that's the whole thing. You got to start somewhere in life. Everybody wants to start to the top. Everybody always want to be successful. But the point of it is, like they say, that road, that path of success sometimes it's lonely because a lot of people they can't endure that. A lot of people can't take that stride with you. I mean, you have wives that left husbands because of a dream he wanted, and the same apply for the women. It's like the whole standard. Everybody's not going to feel your dream. Everybody's not going to follow you, but the people that do follow you and support you, you just gotta be reciprocal. I gotta show you support like you show me support. We gotta
Fact.
all
Yeah.
get in this together and work for the greater good you know, and that's what a lot of people are missing because if I support you, you don't support me, that lowers my energy to say, man, I'm not where I'm at. Nobody's not
Mm-hmm.
feeling me. And that's the same thing with a lot of times with content. And that's why I told you about my channel. We here, it stands for if I can see your channel, I'm coming to it. I'm gonna let you know I'm here. Even if I do a share out or something, just to let people understand, you choose. This person has a channel. Understand where the
Mm-hmm.
channel's coming from. Give them
Mm-hmm.
time. That's the whole thing about growing on people. You got to give them time to grow on you. Sometimes you might think, man, this channel not for me. But the point of it is, it might be just the topic that they're talking about that day, or it might be just you in a bad mood. Your
Mm-hmm.
mood can control what type of panels you go on and what type of content you watch. If you happy
Mm-hmm.
today, you ain't gonna want to see somebody going back and forth. Like I always talk, and I push this big thing about life insurance. You know, it's a process. A lot of people we take life and time for granted. We could
Yep.
be here today, gone tomorrow. That's one of my biggest things that I always try to push on people. Because taking care of your family, I can leave today, and I'm pretty much be comfortable with my family being secure. And a lot of people can't say that. So when it comes down to it, it's a process of getting that knowledge, having an understanding and growing within yourself. The same way I was when I was 20, I'm not the same way when I'm 40 right now. My
Mm-hmm.
mind has matured, my body has matured. I've gone to take things on and understand what I'm dealing with versus just jumping in the fire. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Understand, I don't have to jump in the fire. I can go around the fire. I can still do the same process of saving somebody without jumping in the fire and burning myself to be a hero. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'm gonna take what you said a step further because the situation in which you just mentioned fire is a negative thing, but there are situations where fire is a positive thing. So you may be in a situation where you can become the fire in a sense of creating a positive environment, eradicating some things that don't need to be there, and creating space for new things to grow.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, gold without fire ain't gonna happen.
Yep.
Diamonds without pressure ain't gonna happen. And
Yep.
steel sharpens steel. Uh, you just have to decide what kind of steel is uh qualifiable to sharpen you. Cause you got different grades. You can't sharpen those super hardened, reinforced steel with a super soft steel.
Mm-hmm.
So um as we have these conversations, bro, I think about and my man she making a whole lot of good points. A
For
whole lot of
sure.
good points.
For sure.
I just really think about how we limit ourselves by playing peekaboo. And like he
Mm-hmm.
said, with these different channels, and I think Sassy, you had that Sassy had put that up a minute ago. You showed what she said. You
Yep.
limit yourself when you don't see the potential in somebody, and man, he 100% spot on because I done did it
Yeah.
myself. Give people a chance. Give people a chance when you're trying to learn, when you're trying to get to know people, because uh if somebody come in on one of them lives where we just having a whole bunch of fun and clowning around and kind of
Yeah.
goofing off and just having a good time, you would never know some of the conversations that we have over here. Same thing with you, Joe. Same thing
Hmm.
with you, she. Well, she always talking about this business. She be on it. She pretty consistent in that. But give people a chance, man, and really until they give you a reason not to. When you give people a chance, you giving yourself a chance to learn something that you might not even know you need to know in the first place.
That's it. That's it. And I'm gonna tell you, I got to say this. She, man, I appreciate you, and I'm not saying this because I want you to leave, but I just got to say it while it was fresh in my mind right now. Um, man, thank you for coming up, bro, and thank you for the knowledge that you're sharing with us, because that's what I love about these panel discussions is you get three different perspectives, and of those three perspectives, as an audience, we get to take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, take a little bit of this, and then we come up with what works for us best. So, man, she, thank you for coming up and dropping this knowledge, bro. I appreciate it.
Hey, no
Yeah.
problem. I mean, I listened to a lot of different panels, and what I was about to say earlier was a guy by the name of Alonzo Hall. You know, he does life insurance, and he always say, "I try to provide evergreen content." A guy by the name of Dr. Dunbar, I've talked to him a lot of time in this space. Uh, he always say the same thing. I want to provide evergreen content because this is the content that my kids can listen to. I won't have a shame from that. I
Yes.
can let my mom hear this. I won't be shameful. A lot of these conversations and crazy stuff get to going on. That content, it only make it past the front door. It won't make it past the front door.
Yep.
Because these conversations get overshadowed by the entertainment that's going on panels. But the content to where we can all work with each other, help each other, give information. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I learn from different content creators. There's one guy, far as his opinion about relationship, I can pass on that. But his information about money, I researching is spot on. That I say this a lot. When it comes to the church, anything the pastor say, we listen to it. Lo and behold, you got a Bible. Go look it up. Same thing with information in these panels and stuff. Go look it up. Don't be a parent reciting stuff that you hear and not even obtaining the information. That's how false information gets started. That's how we kind of stifle each other by not doing the research ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm glad you mentioned that, she, because that's so important. Ultimately, we all have to do what we see and feel is best with the information we have at the time. But if we're not doing the research, then how do we have the information that we need to make the decision? And I gotta say real quick, what's up, Ghetto? Thank you for coming through, fam. Appreciate you.
No, and that's real, man. When I research topics, because y'all know I'm always talking about something regarding tech, AI, the relationship that tech and AI has with us from
Yeah.
a societal basis. You'd be surprised how many stories I come across because I believe in editorials. And like she said, you can hear, and his example was the pastor. You hear the pastor say something, but he got a Bible too. Y'all got the same book. Hell, go read for yourself. Go read for yourself. And when you cross reference and start checking some of this stuff, I'm not finna sit up here and deliberately put out something that I know I haven't researched, checked out. Um, they're one of the biggest tech guys in the world. Think Tesla. It was a whole bunch of articles going around about him recently, and some of the AI, let's call them humanoids or dolls or whatever, Come to find out, that stuff was AI generated photos, and people out here passing it off as real and making. I'm talking about some quote unquote reputable organizations taking this stuff to a whole nother level. You really got to check out information for yourself. But that, I mean, and like he said, something else good. She said he may not care about what that man dating advice and relationship advice about, but when it comes to the financial side of it, we got to be able to chew up the meat and spit out the bone. You can take the good. I mean, you got to reach a point in life where you able to disseminate between the parts of information that are beneficial to you versus the parts that you don't need without throwing away the person or the individual
Mm-hmm.
entirely. Because that's just like playing peekaboo.
Yep.
Just because you don't like something they say or how they said it, you discredit and discount them, which, to a degree, I still understand. But information is information, benefit is benefit. And we got to be men and women enough to make the determination between the two.
For sure, for sure. And I'm gonna tell you, I left CP Family Farming their comment up. Right, don't be a dumb person with the smartphone. Research is important. That part, that part right there. We
Yes,
got
sir.
we got we got Jegs in the building. What's good, Jegs? We got BGP in the building. What's good, fam? How you doing? Oh wait, let me get it right. How you feeling? How you living? You know what I mean? Let me get it right for BDBGP. Um, but ultimately, it's kind of like what David said in your stream earlier, Jay. Like one size doesn't fit all, so we have to figure
Absolutely.
out what
Yeah.
works for us. And just because I see Jay doing something or I see she doing something doesn't mean that it's gonna work for Joe. But I can at least do the research and give it a try. And then if I see it doesn't work for me, well, maybe I gotta tweak that a little bit because of where I am, what I'm going through. You see what I'm saying? Um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
prime example. You watch Home Shopping Network, and before you know it, you buying everything under the sun because everything they bring out is the best thing for you. Listen, don't be don't be out doing the same thing with life. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you that you should do this or you should do that because it's the best thing in life for you. You got to figure out for yourself whether that's true or not.
That's that herd mentality. My
Yes,
grandma used to always tell us, if everybody go jumping off a bridge, you going to jump too? And when you
exactly.
say no, look, that's when it comes down to it. You're your own person. You know, everybody has a way of doing things, and the people that follow the herd, you know, you got to deal with the outcome. That's the whole thing. If somebody go to rob a bank, you the getaway driver, you don't know. All you know, you taking somebody to a bank. Next thing you know, they coming out with cash. Drive, drive, drive. Like you already know this is wrong. Just get out the car. Let them drive. You know,
Yeah,
but you're caught in the moment. Next thing you know, I had nothing to do with this officer. Why you drive away? I was scared. It's so many different situations to the point where, you know, we just in it in the moment. You know, a lot of times you get caught in the moment, things happen. You know, even in situations in life to where we just think that, man, if I would have did this in my life would have been a whole lot better. No, it wouldn't. You know, I was talking to my wife one day, and she was saying, "Man, if I would have did this in high school, my life would have been like this. It would have been better." I said, "No, it wouldn't." And she was like, "Why you say that?" I said, "Cause you would have never met me. Your life would have been on a whole nother path." I say that's the thing. A lot of times we sit here and think that because if we're doing something different in our life now, it would have made a better, significant impact in the future for us. But your path takes a different course. You know, a lot of times I related to the movies, like with Marvel. You see that
hmm
situation with Marvel when you do one thing and you go back and change the history, I mean, go back and change the past, which is history, then it alters the future, you
yes,
know? And a lot of us don't look at it like that. We looking at it like, man, If I would have sit there and became a doctor, man, I would have been this person. I would have had my wife right here. She would have never met you. She would have probably been on the other side of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole thing. If we're living in the now, let's fix the now. Even with emotions and feelings, I always talk to a lot of people sometimes that's depressed, and I tell them, if you're depressed, talk about it. You can kind of get some help from people, but understand it's like a light. When you sharing feelings and stuff like that, you're sharing your light with different people. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
understand the people that you giving your light to, are they here to help you or harm you?
Yeah.
Because I can sit there, hear about your depression, and go and tell everybody else that you wrong and you're boring, you're bad, this and that. But you share it
Mm-hmm.
to the right person, they'll get you out of that depression. They'll make you feel 10 times better, help you with way more things than a therapist would. Because most of the time, those people, if they really do know you, they know how to help you better. Like, some parents can help people out of these situations. You got good friends. It's all about the people you talk to and you communicate and connect with and share that light with.
For sure. For sure. And that's what this whole situation is about. And that's the reason that I wanted to elaborate on this a little bit more today, is because ultimately what we have and what we don't have depends upon us. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. Um, I love playing pool. I've always been into billiards. Well, not always, but for like the last 10 years or so, I've been into billiards and pool. And it's funny because you can use the right English, the right stroke, the right stance, the right everything to play a ball. But if you're lined up off center, then it still doesn't work because everything is right, but your perspective is off. And I just want people, and when I say people, I mean people in general, including myself. I'm not taking myself out of this by any means. Sometimes it's not that we're doing something wrong or that things aren't working. Sometimes it's just our perspective on the situation. So let me step back and look and see, is am I looking at this situation right? Is there something that I can do different? You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And like she was saying, that's that whole butterfly effect. I've been there in life too, and I think we all have at some point. You just feel like, man, if I had just did this back then or did that right then, man, if you had made that right hand turn instead of that left hand turn, you might have never bumped into that, stopped at that gas station and bumped into the love of your life. Uh,
Yes.
if you had um, decided to change schools or do whatever, you might not have bumped into that or chosen a different college or junior college. You might have never met that lifelong best friend. So when we think about this, and like you said, Joe, it ain't a matter of uh, necessarily being right or being wrong. It's all about perspective and how much do you believe in yourself along the way. Uh, Now, I got a little bit different perspective than a whole lot of people because uh, my ambition towards certain things is not the same as a lot of other people as far as acquiring certain levels of wealth or certain material this, material that, because I've dealt with a lot of losses in my life, for tangible things and for people. And I'm just completely entrenched in the concept of how important my existence is. But if we'll note, if we're gonna have a full circle conversation, how many times have somebody heard somebody else say, "Oh, look at you, you just comfortable with just existing.
Mm-hmm.
You just existing. You ain't got this, you ain't got that, you haven't accomplished this or you haven't accomplished that." but at the same time, never making mention of whether that person is in a state of joy and fulfillment or not. Because we all have biases, because we are humans, we are people, so we still have some level of presumption of what success is, achievement is, accomplishment is. And for me personally, if I could do anything as a career, like for the sake of an income, I would love
Mhm.
doing what I'm doing right now. I'm talking to people who I enjoy talking to and could
Yes,
potentially do that for a living. For me, that's inspiration. For me, that's something that I know I have the capabilities to do, Lord willing, if my health allows and world circumstances allow. I could sit back and run my mouth like how I'm doing right now with thoughtful conversation for another 40 or 50 or 60 years. So what I'm not going to do is let somebody talk me out of that idea and that concept, and knowing that that can be my future if I choose it, because I'm the one who determined that. I make those boundaries.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And there is this concept in business, especially when it comes to the corporate world, of something called a glass ceiling. And the premise behind it is there's this barrier that you can't see that exists that prevents you from what you're trying to achieve. I want
Yeah.
to remind everyone not to be your own glass ceiling, whether it's listening to what other people tell you or whether it's listening to what you may feel at times is the best that you can do. As long as you're willing to work for it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. The only limit that really exists is not others, it's ourselves. If people won't let you do what you're trying to do where you want to be, then perhaps maybe you need to go somewhere else. Um, okay, so somehow we got she twice. I don't know what happened. Um, okay, let me take the other one down, she, and then let me put this one up. I did see you. Thank you for turning your camera on real quick so I could see you.
Yeah,
There.
I
Yeah.
got a call and they kicked me out.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Um, what's going on, Troy? Bayou Bengals Fantasy Football Network. Fantasy Network. What's going on, fam? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. We appreciate you. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna say this real quick. Troy been like family for forever, so please show Troy some love. Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network. He's on YouTube and he's on Twitch too. Super cool dad, super cool guy. Definitely check him out. Show him some love. Um, I just I don't want, and this is ultimately what it gets to. I don't want to have regrets because that's something that is a heavy weight that you don't understand until it's smothering you.
Oh man.
It's one
Oh
thing when
yeah.
you tried and you gave it your all and it didn't work, but when you know in your heart of hearts that you didn't try and now you don't have the opportunity to try anymore, that regret is an elephant.
Oh brother, bruh. I don't mean to cut you off, Joe, but I gotta
Ooh,
say this, man. Like I said early in the conversation, having to have somebody who, in fact, the woman who uh, brought me in this world, seeing her and others in a state of terminal and hospice care and things of that nature, I got
yes.
to talk to a lot of people with the time that I spent with her. in these facilities. And if y'all ain't never been to one, it's a whole different energy around these types of environments. And I've had conversations with people who may have been down the hall. Um, some people who they look well enough to the point where you think, oh man, you finna turn around. This ain't finna be your fate. You look all right. And when you have these conversations with the people, so many of them, that's what they talk about the most. And
Hmm.
others will talk about all the times that they just lived on the edge and they were just out there living and enjoying life. I'm talking about people who
Gotcha.
are declared dimensionally, suffer from dementia. But boy, they can remember back when they spent 2 years in Paris back in '73, or they can remember when they fell in love and spent this summer at wherever, and just all that kind of stuff, man. The world convinces us to not leave it all on the field.
Yes.
Everybody has different life experiences, but sometimes we get so caught up and consumed with the daily in and outs of proving ourselves to this group or being in accordance with this ideology or doctrine, we forget that we ain't got for forever. And
Yes.
we spend our lives forgetting to leave it all on the field. So I agree
Yes.
with you 100%, dog. Looking back and having regrets is something that people who literally said to me in some of their last days on this planet is their biggest and only regret is that the fact they're gonna leave this world with regrets.
Yes. Hey,
That's it, bro.
hey, man, I'm gonna tell you, and like I'm gonna give you a prime example. Because of life, as you would say, Jay, life been lifing over here, and
Hmm.
I hadn't really been in the gym for about 2 weeks because of different various reasons, all of which were valid and had to be addressed.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the first day of me really getting back into the gym, and I ain't had my work phone, so I couldn't multitask the way I wanted to. I couldn't use my phone to record because normally the work phone is back up. I was all jacked up yesterday. But when I
Yeah.
tell you that that back workout that me and Ricky did, that
Hmm.
thing kicked my hind parts. Um, we go back to remember the Titans.
Yeah.
But as no, man, I'm so sore right now. I ain't even gonna front. Everything hurts. You know what I mean? Tell me how your big toe hurt when you do back at the gym. I don't know. but,
Everything hurt.
but I'm gonna tell you something. I don't have regrets because I left everything in the gym. I didn't
Yeah.
quit on the exercise. I didn't quit on a movement. I may have had to adjust the weight, but I did everything that Ricky did because I refused to let him outwork me. I can't do the weights
Right.
he can do because he's so much stronger than me. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: I'm gonna stay on your heels. I'm gonna do my weight,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna stay on your heels.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
it is one thing for life to beat you up and for you to be sore, but it's another thing for you to be sore with yourself because you didn't allow life to beat you up.
Hmm. Yep. Yep. And
Eh,
that's a. Oh, go ahead, she. Go ahead, bro.
well, I was gonna say something from early when you was talking about, learning about different situations and stuff like that, and dealing with your family. It's not a knock on your parents, to a degree for everybody. It's not a knock on your parents when you don't learn different processes and things. They didn't know. You know,
Yeah,
it comes a time to where you got to go out here and seek the knowledge for yourself. I always tell people the reason I got into life insurance and started learning about it was because my great grandma always told me, you never want to be a burden to nobody. That was
Hmm.
always her goal. You never want to be a burden to nobody. And so that's when I got my first policy when I was like what, 19, 20,
hmm,
and it lapsed, young, spending my money. and end up getting some more policies. As I got older, I got up to 3 policies and I want more. Like I told my wife, she said, "How many policies you want?" I said, "Enough to take care of the family because, you know, I'm learning this knowledge now. I'm learning that life
Mm-hmm.
insurance is not death insurance. Life insurance is what it's called. Life insurance. A lot of people don't know they can take
Mm-hmm.
this money and financially keep their household stable, business. My thing is, and everybody who knows and listens, I'm banking on my life insurance getting enough money of cash value to where I can buy some apartments and retire.
There you
That's
go.
my goal with it.
There
That's
you
my
go.
thing. I'm looking at finance as far as real estate. Real estate is being an asset that you can pass generational wealth down. And I always tell people in family too, like, look, I didn't get all this knowledge from my family. I learned this knowledge as I go along, and I'm trying to teach it to my kids because
You
I can
trying?
give my kids a whole bunch of money, and they don't have no knowledge. They'll blow through that money so quick.
You
I'm
good?
talking about literally.
Yeah, you good?
You know,
Hey, no problem
it,
at all.
and it's a
Have a good one.
mentality we got to get out of that. We got to learn how to start doing for ourselves. We waiting on people to give us their hand to help us out.
Um,
If nobody's there, you got to do it yourself. If you get to a point where your shoes untied, don't you tie your own shoe? You know, and it's funny because sometimes I see my wife. I say your shoes untied. Come here. I tie her shoes for her. Every now and then you will have somebody there for you, but when no one's there, you got to learn how to do it yourself. That takes that action that you got to put into yourself. When you down and out. The biggest joy in my life, besides my kids, came from me when I did sports because the team effort, me having to play my part in football or even in wrestling, what I did, it was always everybody had their role, everybody had their position. You felt good when you win. It sucked when you lost, but at the same time, you learn how to adjust so you won't lose again. You know, and especially as a team, you can only do your part. You can come out there, like you say, African Dream, put it all on the field every game. And if you lose, I'm coming off the field happy. I'm like, man, we took a loss, but man, hey, let's get ready for next game, fellas. Let's go. Everybody looking at me one time, they was like, man, we just lost and we got our butt beat so bad. And like I told them, I said, man, when it come down to it, I played my heart out. I don't know about y'all, man. I played the best I could play. Every down I was running, every time I was getting to the ball, you know, if I was on offense, I was blocking. Anything I left it all on the field, you know. And then I
Yeah.
started taking those jabs at them, like, hey, man, everybody got to be an individual out here, but play as a team. That's the only way we can win. If you got the quarterback doing his job, but the receiver's not catching, he's not doing his job. So that's the whole thing. Like you said, put it all on the field. Put it all on the field, man.
that's
Enjoy,
it.
enjoy, enjoy.
That's it. Now, real quick, I gotta read Sassy's comment. Sassy says cemeteries are full of unfulfilled dreams, countless echoes of could have and should have. Don't choose to walk the well-worn path to regret. Listen here, boy. Sassy is
Man.
on one today.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's gonna pass. Yeah. Yes, yes.
I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer. And to what Sassy said and to what she said, look here. Um, that's I think that's where the complexities come in. I like his analogy about you an individual because you got your own position, but you play as a team. A team is society, and our individual lives are our individual journeys. And something else that break people is getting people caught up with the Joneses. I don't even know where the Joneses live. I heard about them, but I can't keep up with them, and I ain't even trying to because this life is my journey alone. But at the same time, trying to keep up with other people can put you in a position where the whole team lose because, like Sassy said, and I'm adamant about that. I believe that that's one of my That's one of my sayings, man. I'm telling you, the cemetery is full of unfulfilled ambitions, and some of the biggest and best dreams unknown to man sit amongst those tombstones. We have to live our lives to the fulfillment and the journey that we on, because you can't live for nobody. I don't even. I had look. It's people in my family who twins, got some triplets, a whole couple of twins, matter of fact. But guess what? They still came out one at a time. This
That's
your
it.
life. You
Yep.
born in this world alone, and even if you perish in the company of others, you leave in accordance with yourself. What you share stays here, and what you take with you. And it's oftentimes pertinent information. It's knowledge. It's life lessons that you could have shared with somebody else and chose not to for whatever reason. Y'all, I'm gonna shut up, but I'm gonna say this. I've been asked before, what's the craziest thing I've ever experienced in life? And about the age of about 32, 33, I remember telling the dude I was talking to, life, life, life is the craziest thing that I've ever experienced. And I'm so happy that I grown past that point of playing peekaboo with myself and others. But I just want to say that real quick, gentlemen. Y'all go ahead.
No, you right, big bro. You right. And I'm loving this conversation. And now I had Ghetto's comment up. Ghetto said, "Man, I'm trying to keep up with Miss Ghetto. Forget the Joneses."
Right?
I, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I feel you. Um, and building within itself is never an easy or comfortable thing to do. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever been a brick mason or anything like that. Um, or here's one for you, Jay. Now, I ain't had a chance to tell you this. At least I don't think so. But I was literally about, I'm gonna say, 6 months from becoming a welder instead of a network administrator.
Really? Well,
Yes, because
well.
my pops, before he started welding, he was state certified in structured pipe and steel. So
Oh,
it,
that's what's up right there.
yeah, I literally in my bones. It, it's something, man. I'm gonna tell, and I ain't gonna go. I don't want to turn this into a welding sardine conversation, but I'm gonna tell you something. I just gotta throw this out here real quick. Boy, when you hit that bead just right, and you watch that slag gently curl up into
Yes,
somewhat
sir.
of a seashell, because the molten
Yeah.
puddle was moved in the proper direction, that there was no
Ooh,
adherence to the slag, because it was
yeah.
simply a protector. That listen, I'm I'm bro, listen, I'm gonna tell you. You want to talk about something that I enjoy? Don't get me
I
wrong.
see you,
I
bro.
enjoy computers. But man, it is something about welding. And I promise you, when YouTube buys me my shop, I'm going to weld.
There
I
you go. There
I
you
don't
go.
I don't care whether I sell it to nobody. I don't care what. I, I'm getting passionate. But what's going
I
on,
see.
Brittany?
I see.
Thank you for coming through. Hey, Nancy B. Um, eh,
Hey, Miss Nancy, how you doing?
what I'm
Man,
getting
bro,
from. Oh,
I
go
had
ahead,
to
Jay.
delete some. No, I'm just saying I had to delete some pics out my phone because I needed to free up some space um on my other device trying to get everything sorted over here. And I was looking at some old pics, man. I used to just put bevels and butt joints together and
Yes.
do horizontal welds and flat weld just because I was so doggone good at it and just how pretty it was, man. Just
See, now
just
we're
beautiful.
talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you were vertical welding and you were literally watching that puddle um, hey, she turn your camera on for me. Okay, there we go. Um, when you are literally watching this puddle of molten metal defy gravity, as that Disney
Mm-hmm.
song goes, and you, the satisfaction from that, and I
Yeah.
ain't picked up a stick, and man, I know it's been a minute, but I said this for a couple different reasons. One of the reasons why I even took welding for 2 years in high school was listening to my father describe what welding is, was, and how it should be done properly.
Yeah.
And listening to him talk about TIG and walking that cup,
Yeah.
as,
Yeah.
as a child, it was like, okay, I've got to try that. And
Yeah.
it's different. So it goes back to what you were saying about that those moments that you had right before the end with your mom and everything. Um, listen
Yeah.
to people, listen to
Mm-hmm.
people, and see whether it's something that resonates with you. If it don't
Yes.
resonate, file 13, let it go. It is what it is. But
Right.
if it resonates and hits a spot that causes you to want to be better, that's the information you hold on to.
Absolutely, bro. Chew up the meat and spit out the bone, and take it from people who literally usually leave it all on the field. It may be in short duration, but if you've ever spent any time in any of these hospices or end of life healthcare facilities, man, these folks will tell you doggone almost anything you ask them if they cognizant enough talk about it,
Yes,
because they know what's going on. They can feel it. It's there. And that's what they want to do the most. The question the rest of us have to ask ourselves: why don't we live like that over the course of our lives? And it's because of the influences we talked about earlier. But one more thing, real quick, before I shut up, because I know my man Sheath and jump back in here, get him a chance to talk. But my knowledge of welding, I'm old country boy. My whole life, baby, you couldn't wait for the East Texas Fair, the Dallas Fair to come back into town. They roll in, they set it up in a couple days. Baby, once I understood welding and I would walk around looking at some of them welds, I said, I ain't getting
yeah,
on this no more. I
yeah,
ain't never. I don't even get on rides at fairs no more. I go to a amusement park maybe, and I ain't no
hmm
big thrill seeker like that because life thrilling enough for me. I got enough going on. But no, yeah. So I just want to say that real quick. But shout out to all my welders out there, and shout out to Joe Daddy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jay, we're gonna have some conversations about welding because I've been meaning to talk to you about it. We're gonna have some conversations about that. That's
It's
coming.
no doubt,
it's so
no
funny.
doubt.
It's so funny. Like I'm not a professional at it. I learned the bare minimum, but my family, all of them, from my granddaddy, my brothers, all of them well. I go up there and do a little tack welding with them. Um, they were sitting in some AC cage, so they showed me how to just stick weld and just
Yes,
tack it on. Then they'll come on and do the rest. And
yeah,
me being small and young, I can get in these tight little places. And
Yeah,
over
yeah,
time, they taught me like, look, this is small little things you can do starting with this. We don't want you to get too far. And I'm talking about me being 13 years old learning these crafts.
yeah,
And, you know, with my brother there, he teaches me stuff from time to time. You know, I got to a point where I can halfway decent. I ain't saying I'm no Picasso at it, but at
I'm
the
with you.
same time, I can move. And it's
Yeah,
crazy. You
yeah,
know, y'all talking about welding. I'm like, man, this is a crazy conversation. I've never known too many people look at welding as legit something that being as nice and craft and generally respect people that get into welding. But I mean, it's funny to say the least. But I mean,
yes,
it's
sir.
it's crazy. But
Man,
I used to go see my great grandma in hospice, and you know it hurt me to not really see her during her last like couple of days because my whole thing was this lady. I took care of her when I was young. She taught me how to cook better than
Yeah.
anybody. Like everybody, she taught me how to cook, and
Nice.
I would go in the kitchen, whip up stuff. Like when I first met
That's
my
what's
wife
up,
didn't know
bro.
I know how to cook. And the craziest thing, I'm gonna go with this. I cooked my wife some jambalaya, and
Mm-hmm.
my wife went. She thought that I ordered the stuff. She went in the kitchen. She looking all in the oven. She
Uh-huh.
looking in the trash can. And I was like, "What? A man can't cook?" She's like,
Uh-huh.
"I ain't never known no man to cook, especially this good." I'm like, "Don't I gotta eat? If I don't have a wife or a girlfriend, don't I still gotta eat?" So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to cook. But the point of it was she taught me that. And when I would talk to the elderly women in there, the men, they were, like you were saying, man, back in my day, boy, I used to have this kind of hot rod car, and I
Mm-hmm.
used to go to the club and I catch the ladies, and the women be like, yeah, back in my day, you might look at me now. I ain't much to look at, but back in the day,
Uh-huh.
boy, you'll have your jaws dropping, boy. I was a nice looking young lady back in the day, and some of them have the pictures and they'll show me. They be like, see, I told you, boy, I wasn't nothing
Oh,
to play with back in the day. And I used to
oh,
love sitting there talking to old people, man. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say when they broke out them pictures, that's the part that kind of man, before my mom got to the end and we did the private room thing, she had a roommate for a while. And
Yeah.
bro, when
Yeah.
you start looking at these pictures and you looking at stuff from the 50s and 60s and 70s when these people then now some of them they was already in their 30s then, late 20s and 30s back in the late 60s and early 70s. Man, it's mind blowing, dog. It's a whole different experience. I'm telling you, man, I encourage people more than anything because Joe come with the motivation. She'd up here giving the knowledge on different parts, everything from life insurance to this. We got to get together. We got to have a conversation about that because I done had some unsavory experiences with that whole thing. But we'll talk about it. Uh, but
I can go into depth. I got a guy that I deal with on YouTube. I, we'll talk.
yeah, we'll talk, bro. We'll talk.
Sounds good.
But the whole thing is, man, you gotta understand, family. Please, I implore you, I beg of you, y'all. We are not here for forever. Stop playing peekaboo
Mm-hmm.
with yourself and with your life and with your future and with all the possibilities. Stop playing peekaboo because all you got is right now to do everything you could ever imagine yourself ever doing. And we all think we got more time than what we really got.
Yes. Yes.
Don't
Very
wait.
true.
Don't wait until like my man. I'm gonna shut up, but like my man Devin the dude say, don't wait until you're 80 and start saying what you could have did. Don't do
Yes.
that. Don't
That
do
part.
it.
That part. We're gonna I got your message, ghetto, and I'm gonna take care of that next time. I just want to get a chance to check out that content. But I'd already promised M&T Living and Cooking that we were gonna raid them. They just went live a few minutes ago, so we're gonna go hang out with them for a little bit. Cause my laptop about to die anyway. I'm down to like 20%. Um, I want to say thank you to She for coming up. Thank you, Big Bro Jay, as always.
No
Before we
doubt.
go, She, is there anything you want to tell the people about your channel?
Nothing much. Just hey, if you want to look at the content, all I talk about, motivation, self awareness. Talk about life insurance, of course, and most of all, finance. Talking about buying houses, get things in order, budgeting, saving. So it's up to you. If that stuff interests you, then hey, take a look at it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Y'all show C some love. Y'all done seen what the man about. Y'all done seen what he talk about. Check him out. Show him some love. Please, please, and thank you. Jay, anything you want to tell the people about what you and April got going on?
Just thank y'all. We African Dreaming. Myself, my wife, we over here creating content over here on the continent of Africa. We from the great state of Texas. We just some old country folk who decided to live somewhere else. And check the channel out if you get if you get time. If you a member, if you a subscriber already, make sure you still connected with us because YT been playing games lately. If I'm no longer connected to you, that's something that we slowly going through, trying to work on and make sure we still locked in with everybody. And I just want to thank you, Motivation, for having me up, bro. Thank you for everybody in the chat, and thank you for the conversation. And when you get freed up from this, if you get a chance, man, give me a holler before
Yeah, yeah,
2 months later. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's it, bro. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah. Give me about 10 minutes. I'm gonna check out M&T. I'm gonna have them running while we talk because yeah, we gotta chop it up. We gotta chop it up for sure. I want to say thank you to everybody that has been here, everybody that's still here. I just dropped the link for M&T Living and Cooking. They're going live. I'm sure we all going to enjoy that live stream. Psalm 146, thank you for being here. Nancy B. the Scratcher, Brittany Wells coming through, and everybody else that I can't remember. I appreciate you all. I need you to remember that we can't do this alone. It is because of you that we are who we are. So when we help each other, we all will grow and we all will improve. So let's just keep helping each other. And if you don't think you can do it, ask somebody in the community because they'll remind you that you can. And allow me to be the first one to remind you that if you stay strong, stay positive, and stay active, you can accomplish anything because of the Geek Squad. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. We will see you on the next one. Y'all take care, and I'll see you over there at M&T Living and Cooking. We're gonna raid them and show them some love. We'll see y'all on the next one.